Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Thursday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, sports, and so much more. I am Glenn Nora Shipura. Leading us into the news tonight, the Business and Intellectual Property Authority has confirmed that more than 137,000 companies and close corporations will be deregistered for failing to comply with Namibia's beneficial ownership disclosure laws. Speaking at a media briefing this morning, acting CEO Aina Kaunda said the process will begin on the 29th of August 2025 with the removal of the first 1,000 entities from the registrar. Thereafter, BIBA will strike off an additional 1,000 entities each month until the full list of 137,000 has been cleared. Beneficial ownership disclosure is designed to shine a light on who really controls Namibian companies and close corporations. The law requires all entities to declare their true owners or controllers, a measure aimed at tackling money laundering, terrorist financing, and hidden ownership structures. By law, BIBA is required to deregister entities 6 months after they are listed as inactive. Kaunda highlighted the serious consequences of deregistration, including loss of legal status, frozen bank accounts, cancelled contracts, forfeiture of assets to the state, and reputational damage. Let's have a look.
This journey started in 2023 when the laws of Companies Act and Close Corporation Act were amended in order to introduce a disclosure requirement, which we call the beneficial ownership, which required all entities to disclose who benefits from that company or who has control over that company. This is very important in terms of ensuring that we mitigate the issues of anti-money laundering and the funding of terrorism and so forth. So it is an important requirement if we are to do business transparently, if we are to conduct our business in a manner that is conducive not just for the entity but also for the society. So it's really with that background, and since 2023, upon the introduction of the laws, we have made several directives. We have held several stakeholder engagements throughout Namibia, really communicating and engaging our stakeholders on this very important requirement because it has grave consequences. And one of the consequences, and to which point we have come this morning, is the deregistration. So therefore, it is really with that background that it is not something we are talking about just today. It is something we have been conversing on since 2023. But the time of communicating and engaging and creating awareness, I think, has now come to an end, and we are now in the phase of managing consequences. And so, as I indicated earlier, that since 2023, on the 21st of July, every company and close corporation was required, in terms of these two acts, which is Companies Act and Close Corporation Act, which was then amended, to maintain and submit its beneficial ownership information to BIBA.
In our next story, Andre Masiga Diamonds today in Windhoek handed over a shareholding contribution to the Employees Share Participation Trust. With a workforce of 71 employees, 90% of whom are Namibian, the staff are now recognized as shareholders and co-owners, collectively holding 25% in Andre Masiga Diamonds through the through the trust. Now, a proportion of these employees are persons with disabilities, including individuals who are hearing impaired and those needing wheelchairs for mobility, making Andre Masika Diamonds one of the largest private employers of people with disabilities in Namibia. The shareholding contribution is valued at $180,000. Director Mark Friedman shares his remarks during the event. Have a look.
An unwavering spirit of our Namibian team. You are not just employees. You are owners, you are family. And it is because of your hard work, loyalty, and shared belief in this company that we are here today, celebrating not just a monetary distribution, but a celebration of unity, perseverance, and hope. This distribution is not about profit. It's about people. It's about recognizing the pride you take in your craft, the atmosphere of togetherness you have built, and the values of dignity and inclusion you embody. The fact that so many of our colleagues with disabilities contribute daily to our success reminds the world that disability does not mean inability. Instead, it means determination, talent, and limitless potential. Each diamond cut and polished here in our factory is more than a gem. It is a symbol of our nation's heritage, of responsible luxury, and of human artistry. It reflects the story of people who chose to build something sustainable, meaningful, and deeply rooted in pride for Namibia. To every single one of you, thank you and congratulations. May this moment remind us that together we are stronger, and together we will continue to shine like our diamonds, brighter than ever. Thank you.
Moving on, as part of his ongoing case, the Development Bank of Namibia is asking the Windhoek High Court for a summary judgment against Ombili Health Center and its guarantors, Malakia and Peter Elindi, over a loan default of more than 14 million Namibian dollars dating back 8 years ago. DBN intends to fast-track the 14 million Namibian dollar loan recovery procedures from the now incarcerated Elindi brothers on the grounds that the brothers and their health center have no valid defense and that a full trial is unnecessary. The brothers are currently in prison awaiting a ruling on their bail application scheduled for the 26th of September. Their detention follows the arrest over allegations that their company, Anacor Namibia, was involved in defrauding NAMCO of nearly 380 million Namibian dollars. According to documents submitted by the bank this week, DBN started the initial steps of the process on the 6th of August and will file a follow-up report by the 11th of September 2025. The bank intends to formally submit its summary judgment application on or before the 19th September 2025. Should the defendants choose to oppose, they must file their answering affidavit by the 30th of September 2025. After which a status hearing is scheduled for the 16th of October 2025 to determine hearing dates for the application. The dispute stems from two loans that the bank is said to have granted to Ombili Health Center in 2017. A $2.6 million term loan and a $10.7 million property finance facility. The loans were reportedly secured through securityship agreements signed by the Elindi brothers and Nyambali Medical Center, owned by Malakia and his wife Lydia Elindi previously. Additionally, a Windhoek property of 6128 was mortgaged in favor of the bank as extra security. According to court documents, Ombili failed to honor repayment terms, leaving the facility in arrears of $17.7 million by July 2024. In our next story, Ondangwa Town Council Deputy Mayor Esther Awala earlier today launched the town's local economic development and tourism strategy, a blueprint to transform Ondangwa into a more industrialized, resilient and inclusive economy. The strategy, unveiled during the mayoral breakfast at Emirates Hotel aims to harness the town's history, cultural heritage, and strategic location to boost business growth, drive tourism, and promote sustainable industrialization. Council's manager for LED and marketing, Rauna Shipunda, said soft copies of the documents will be available on the council website for public download. Let's have a look at what they had to say.
Engagement this morning has got two major purposes or objectives that we want to achieve. First one is really to engage, as the name says. We really need to engage with our vibrant business sector. It's very vibrant, a vibrant business sector in Ondangwa, unlike in other towns. And I always talk about this and say, Ondangwa is unique. Unique it's in nature that you see other towns growing, but the growth is being driven by the public sector, driven by government, driven by institutions of government when they build their ministries and so forth and so forth. But the uniqueness of Ondangwa is that our growth here is being driven by the private sector, is being driven by the business people. And that is sustainable because business people all over the world build industries and they build towns. So that is why we are here. We are here to engage now that sector. The second purpose why we decided to be here this morning is really to explore the future direction of our town. We want to engage you and explore, and you give us a direction of where you want to see your town heading to in future. We are few as leaders in the town council, councillors, staff members here and there. We cannot successfully drive this town alone. We need directions. We need your inputs because it's all our town, all of us. So we are here now to engage you so that at least you have a say in the direction of where you want Ondangwa to be in future. But we can only do that if we engage with you, if we give you opportunity to engage with us so that at least you give us that direction. So that is the second purpose why we are here this morning.
That wraps up the top stories. On the other side of the break, we will be taking a look at what's taking a center stage in our community talk.
We are bringing to you In the Mix Africa, broadening our perspective, focusing on African players playing in Europe, playing in Africa, the inner workings of their craft, every single little thing. And also, very importantly, tasting African food with Patty. Are you ready for that?
Of course, we're going to broaden up our taste palettes and we're going to take it to the whole of Africa. We're not just going to stick here in Namibia. Of course, it's important to also appreciate Namibian culture and food, but we're going to broaden it up, like you say, and we're going to try everything.
That's right. So join us as we take you beyond borders for the love of sport with In the Mix Africa.
We swing over to the coast in our community talk. The mayor of Walvis Bay, Trevino Forbes, addressed road safety concerns at a council meeting yesterday and urged residents to report urgent issues through official channels. He also highlighted the arrival of 5 new refuse trucks expected to improve waste collection and reduce delays across the town. Let's have a look.
We ask our residents to please report any new potholes or urgent road safety concerns via our official channels so that we can respond to them promptly. Your patience during these repairs is appreciated, and we work to restore smooth and safe roads for us all. We also announced the delivery of our 5 new refuse removal trucks last week. This addition to our fleet will significantly reduce delays in emptying of refuse bins and improve service reliability for households and businesses. Our waste management team is coordinating routes to maximize efficiency and we expect a noticeable improvement in the collection times soon. Please continue to place your bins at the curb as per standard schedule and report any missed collections to help us address the issues quickly. A word of appreciation to the administration and all partners involved in the remarkable progress on the Farm 37 housing project. This project stands as a major milestone in addressing housing needs and delivering quality, affordable homes to our residents. We will continue to monitor progress and keep the community informed of milestones and timelines. We encourage residents who fall within the eligibility categories for low-cost housing to consider applying for the Build Together initiatives.
Diving right into the economic news, President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah this morning visited the Shandingora Green Scheme in Kavango East, where she engaged a small-scale farmer specializing in onion production on progress at his plot. Excuse me. Now, the president is scheduled to tour all state-owned green schemes in Kavango East before concluding her visit in Kavango West tomorrow. Yesterday, she visited the Kali Mbezi rice farm in the Zambezi region, where she stressed that deadlines must be met to ensure the project delivers on its food security goals. She underscored the farm's role in boosting Namibia's contribution to Africa's food basket and highlighted the importance of innovation and regional cooperation. Have a look.
Kavango East, because it's in between Kavango West and Zambezi. These are the bread basket of the country. This is why I'm going to pay attention to these three regions for them to produce the food. Let it be. If it means I spend more time on this part of the country in order to feed the nation, I'm going to do so. And the Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy, because it's really the issue of electricity. And this maximum demand, now if you are hearing that almost 40% of the electricity paid is just to numb power, and not because of the consumption, but because of this, the maximum demand. We'll try really, because as you were saying, if we are talking about food production, but the agricultural inputs are expensive, then we are just fooling ourselves. Traditionally, historically. Oh. How many hectares do you have?
It's 1.5. Oh, in total?
In total,
6 hectares. Other ones where the maize are, then where these people are waiting.
Oh, so the base, this side, and this 6 hectares.
Yeah. The challenge,
very soon you are going to get it here. Graduated.
That is why I
from being a small scale
farmer. I can't be a small scale farmer. The advantage where the medium farm, there is no sprinkler. Where you just press the machine.
Up next, the financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.88, against the euro at 20.59, against the US dollar at 17.69 to Namibian dollars and 48 cents gets you one Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, gold, copper and platinum went up, while Brent crude oil went down, trading at 0.40%, going for $67 and 59 cents per barrel. In our international news, the legacy of the self-proclaimed pastor Paul Mackenzie continues to shake Kenya as authorities uncover 5 new bodies linked to the deadliest cult massacre in history. Starve and you will meet Jesus. That is what Kenyan pastor Paul Mackenzie allegedly told his followers before they died. Mackenzie is the leader of the Good News International Church, which he claims to have founded after hearing the call from God. The religious leader is accused of ordering his followers in southeastern Kenya to starve themselves and their children to death so that they could go to heaven before the world ended. On Wednesday, authorities uncovered 5 bodies buried in shallow graves near the coastal town of Kilifi after finding another 19 victims in the past 5 days of search. Homicide detectives, forensic experts, and government pathologists have all been deployed to support the exhumation of 27 suspected mass graves. Now, authorities believe the newly discovered bodies may be connected to one of Kenya's worst cult-related mass deaths. Kenyan police have arrested 11 suspects in the Kilifi murder case, who are all former followers of Pastor Paul Mackenzie. Court documents show that the suspects stayed in Mackenzie's commune in Shakohola Forest, central Kenya, where 400 members of his doomsday cult were found dead 2 years ago. Mackenzie was since been arrested on murder and terrorism charges and remains in custody awaiting trial. That concludes the international news. We now swing over to the weather predictions for tomorrow. The capital city can expect a minimum of 9 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions, while Katima Mulilo can expect a minimum of 16 and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions. Oranjemund can expect a minimum of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 19 degrees Celsius, and they can enjoy some partly cloudy conditions, while Handys Bay can expect sunny weather conditions with a minimum of 11 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius. Up next is the sports news brought to you by SportsRep.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first, and it's related to Manchester United and pressure mounting on Manchester United coach, that is Ruben Amorim, and he's had a tough start to the new season, and that is especially now after a shock loss in the Carabao Cup, and that was against Grimsby, and it is 12-11 the score was on penalties. It was a game that ended 2-2 in a draw, and then it was Grimsby that won on penalties, and it is the supporters of Manchester United that made the disappointment known on social media, and that is mainly because Manchester United lost this Carabao Cup against a team named Grimsby, that is a 4th tier team in the English soccer leagues, so that is not a good result for Manchester United. They also started off the English Premier League season with one draw and 1 loss, so this coming weekend it's an important game for Manchester United. They play at home against Burnley. Important game for Manchester United and coach. Continuing international sports news with tennis news, the US Open continues. That is at Flushing Meadows in close to New York. In the men's division, it is Lloyd Harris of South Africa, unfortunately knocked out in the second round. He had a tough second round game against 4th seeded American Taylor Fritz. It was Lloyd Harris that won the first set 6-4, but then lost the next 3 sets, so he's out of the US Open. Also in the men's division, Ben Shelton of America beat Pablo Bastu by 6-4, 6-2 and 6-4, and number 2 seed Carlos Alcaraz also through to the next round, that is in the US Open. And then in the women's side of the draw, it is Elena Rybakina. She beat Teresa Valentova by 6-3 and 7-6. She's the number 9 seed. And then also Jessica Pegula of America, number 4 seed. She beat Anna Blinkova 6-1, 6-3. And a good result, that is also for Naomi Osaka. She won the major and won the US Open before. She beat Crete Minon by 6-3 and 6-4, also to advance to the 3rd round. Then to close off today's international sports news, it is golf news. It is the Ryder Cup, a team competition between America and in Europe. That is in golf, men's golf, that will start on the 26th of September at Bethpage Black. And the news from the captain of the American team is that he confirmed his 6 captain's pick. There was a speculation that he might even include himself because he was in the top 12 on the rankings, the points rankings for Ryder Cup, but he decided to focus on the captaincy. So it is Keegan Bradley the captain that will not play as player. He will captain the team. Really a strong team. Players that was confirmed before his selection was Justin Thomas and also Colin Marakawa and Patrick Cantlay and also Scotty Scheffler. But now he included players like Sam Burns, Cameron Young and also Ben Griffin. So that is the team, American team, confirmed to play in the Ryder Cup. So that's international sports news for today. I hope you have a great sport day. We talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
That was Ari Hohart with the sports news, and on that note, we have come to the end of the broadcast. Don't forget that Sunset News screens every Monday to Thursday on our DSTV channel 285, our GoTV channel 25, and on our website oneupdo.com at 7:30 p.m. From me, Glenora Shipura, until next time.